Picture a land where the horizon stretches forever, kissed by a sun that never seems to hurry. The air hums with birds, the grass moves like it's breathing, and somewhere out there, a lion reminds you that this place belongs to nature first. That's Kenya, wild, unpredictable, and heartbreakingly beautiful. From the moment you arrive, Kenya feels alive in a way that catches you off guard. The light hits different here. The air smells like dust, grass, and rain all at once. People wave at you from passing motorbikes. There's rhythm in everything. The chatter at markets, the drumming of hooves on the plains, even the soft creak of a wooden dhow rocking in the surf. It's the kind of place that doesn't ask you to look for adventure, it just hands it to you. Drive out toward the savannah and you'll understand why documentaries can never quite capture it. The Maasai Mara unfolds like an ocean made of grass, the horizon rippling with movement. Elephants in the distance, zebras bunching together, wildebeest kicking up clouds of dust so thick they look like smoke. The sound alone is something you feel more than hear. Thousands of hooves drumming against the earth, birds slicing through the noise, a lion's low call rolling in like thunder. Then the calm hits, the wind slows, the herds spread out, and a giraffe moves past you in slow motion as if it owns the moment. Because honestly, it does. And right then you realize that Kenya isn't performing for you. It's just being itself, and you happen to be lucky enough to watch. Travel a little further and the landscape changes, but the awe doesn't. At Amboseli, elephants move like gentle shadows under the white crown of Mount Kilimanjaro. It's almost unfair how perfect that backdrop is. The mountain feels close enough to touch, but impossibly distant, watching over everything like a patient elder. You find yourself whispering, even though there's no reason to. The scale demands it. A baby elephant stumbles, a herd rumbles by, and you forget for a second that you're standing on the same planet as your daily commute. But Kenya isn't just about what's wild. It's about who calls that wild home. Step into a Maasai village, and you'll see red shukas glowing against the sun, beadwork that tells entire family histories, and smiles that carry stories older than the country itself. The people here don't just live off the land, they live with it. Cattle are life, song is history, and every dance under the stars feels like time folded in half. When they leap into the air during the Adamu, the famous jumping dance, you can almost feel the earth answer back. Night falls fast in the Mara. The stars come out like they've been waiting all day to perform. There's no light pollution, no hum of traffic, no glowing screens. Just the sound of the wind brushing through the grass and the steady crackle of a fire. Someone hands you tea brewed strong and sweet, and for once you're quiet, because silence feels sacred here. Then just as suddenly the world flips. One morning you wake up to water instead of dust. Lake Victoria stretches out so wide it feels like the edge of the planet. Fishermen push their boats into the calm blue, the air thick with the scent of tilapia and wood smoke. Kids laugh at the shore, tossing nets like it's second nature. This isn't a photo stop. It's real life unfolding with zero interest in your schedule. Head north and the heat sharpens. The road turns to sand and there it is, Lake Turkana, the Jade Sea. It glows turquoise against desert rock, alive with birds and framed by silence so vast it's almost uncomfortable. You can stand there for minutes or hours and without hearing a single man-made sound. It's haunting, humbling, perfect. And when the desert finally gives way to ocean, Kenya changes tone again. Diani Beach, Watamu Bay, Mombasa's winding streets, each feels like a different kind of dream. The water looks photoshopped, but it isn't. Palm trees lean into the wind like they're tired of standing straight. You hear Swahili music floating from a cafe, smell cloves and coconut in the air, and realize this coast has been a meeting place for centuries. Traders from Arabia, India, and Portugal all left their fingerprints here. In the food, the language, the architecture. You'll still see the wooden dhow boats slicing through the water, just like they did hundreds of years ago. Their sails full of stories. Leave the coast behind and climb again. The air cools, the sky thickens with cloud, and suddenly you're surrounded by forest. This is Mount Kenya, not just a mountain, but a mood. Mist curls through the trees like breath. Every step feels ancient, like you're walking through someone else's dream. Somewhere above, snow catches the morning light, proof that even the equator can surprise you. Then comes the Rift Valley, a scar and a masterpiece all at once. Standing on its edge, you feel tiny. The earth literally split here, carving lakes, volcanoes, and stories out of stone. It's the kind of view that resets your perspective, a reminder that the planet moves whether we're watching or not. Down below, flamingos paint Lake Nakuru pink, a color so loud it looks artificial. They stand in perfect lines, turning the whole lake into a watercolor that keeps changing as the sun climbs. Farther west, the rolling green of the Limuru tea fields feels like a deep breath. After the heat and noise of safari country, this is Kenya whispering. The hills move like waves frozen in time, rows of bright green stretching into the mist. Farmers pluck leaves with practiced grace, and the air smells faintly of earth and rain. You sip a cup of steaming Kenyan tea, and it tastes like calm. The road keeps shifting. That's the thing about Kenya. You can drive for an hour and it's a new world every time. Dusty plains turn to lush valleys, then to towns humming with life. Somewhere along the way, you catch your reflection in a window and realize you've started smiling for no reason. Maybe it's the light. Maybe it's the feeling that every direction here points to something worth remembering. Eventually, the roads lead you to Nairobi, a city that somehow fits skyscrapers, traffic jams, and wild giraffes into the same frame. It's the only capital in the world where lions prowl within sight of office towers. You could finish your morning coffee, drive 10 minutes, and suddenly you're in Nairobi National Park watching rhinos graze with the skyline in the distance. It's surreal, but that's the charm. The collision between wilderness and modern life feels almost symbolic of Kenya itself. Spend a day here, and you'll feel the pulse of the country in fast forward. Markets spill into the streets with vendors calling out prices in Swahili, music thumping from matatus painted with football stars and hip-hop icons. There's no such thing as silence here, only rhythm. Yet between all that chaos, you'll find quiet corners of grace. A rescued elephant at the Sheldrick Wildlife Trust wrapping its trunk around your hand, or a Rothschild giraffe bending low at the Giraffe Center to nuzzle your cheek. In Nairobi, the wild isn't outside the city. It lives inside it. As you head north along the coast, the road twists past coconut palms and villages where time seems to slow down. You reach Watamu Bay, and for a moment, you swear you've fallen into a postcard. The water is so clear it looks unreal, and beneath it, coral reefs buzz with life. Parrotfish, sea turtles, flashes of yellow and blue darting between the rocks. If you listen closely, the ocean hums like it's telling stories only the locals can translate. You could float there for hours, watching the light play across the surface and thinking, maybe paradise was just quietly waiting here the whole time. But Kenya isn't done surprising you yet. Head inland again, and the world changes color. Laikipia stretches out before you, raw, untamed, a patchwork of grasslands and rocky outcrops that feel untouched by time. Here, conservation isn't a slogan, it's a way of life. Local communities, ranchers, and wildlife experts work together to protect elephants, rhinos, and the last remaining northern white rhinos on Earth. You might see them up close at Old Payeta Conservancy, massive, gentle creatures that somehow radiate both power and fragility. It's hard not to feel humbled standing there, knowing you're looking at living history, maybe even the edge of a species. Further north, the terrain sharpens again. The West Pocket Hills rise from the Rift Valley, draped in mist and mystery. Few tourists ever make it here, and that's what makes it special. The air smells like rain and pine, and the villages, scattered along the slopes, feel almost suspended in time. The Pokot people move through the land with quiet pride, their traditions untouched by the noise of modern life. Here, Kenya whispers instead of roars. Then just when you think you've seen it all, you stumble upon something that rewires your sense of scale. The 14 Falls near Thika, where the Athi River crashes down in a series of white torrents. The roar is deafening, the spray cool against your face, and the sight of it all, water, rock, and green wrapped in one chaotic symphony, feels like nature showing off. You watch locals cross the river in small boats, perfectly at ease amid all that power, and you understand that living in Kenya means learning to move with the wild, not against it. A few hours later, you're back in the highlands at Lake Naivasha. The light here has a cinematic calm. The water mirrors the sky so perfectly it's hard to tell where one ends and the other begins. A hippo's grunt breaks the silence, a fish eagle calls from a tree, and everything slows down again. You take a boat across the lake and step onto Crescent Island, walking among zebras and gazelles with no fences between you. For a second, you forget you're a visitor. It feels like you belong. And maybe that's Kenya's quiet magic. It doesn't make you feel like an outsider. Whether you're watching flamingos turn Lake Nakuru pink or sipping tea in the misty hills of Limuru, Kenya wraps around you like a story you've somehow always known. It's not just the landscapes, it's the rhythm that ties them all together. The heartbeat that moves from the Mara to the coast, from the cities to the villages, pulsing through every moment. When the trip winds down and the plane climbs into the clouds, you'll look down at that patchwork of gold, green, and blue, and it'll hit you how impossible it is to fit Kenya into a single memory. It's not a place you tick off a list. It's a feeling that lingers, in the smell of rain on red soil, in the taste of spiced chai, in the sound of drums echoing across the night. And even as you leave, you know part of you stays behind, wandering somewhere between the elephants of Amboseli and the coral reefs of Diani, between the laughter in Nairobi and the silence of Turkana's desert winds. Kenya changes you without asking. It slows you down, wakes you up, and teaches you that wildness isn't chaos, it's balance. If this journey stirred something in you, that itch to see, to feel, to wander, don't let it fade. There's a whole world out there waiting to surprise you just like Kenya did. Stick around and let's keep exploring it together.